Good morning. Welcome to good morning. Yeah, well, you know what it's called?
What's that?
A mortgage.
Oh, paycheck.
Paycheck. Yeah.
Right.
Good morning. Welcome to Community Voice. You keep it all
Well,
real.
since you put it that way, hey,
you
like
keep
Dave
it all real.
Chappelle,
Yeah,
when
keep
keeping
it
it
all
real goes
keep it
wrong.
real. And dude back in his mama's house. What you say, son?
We're keeping it real,
Keep it real.
His house ain't big enough for all us grown folks in here now.
Yeah, man. You. Now, I know people, man. I wouldn't have took that. You know, my mother said this to me when I was a kid. She said, "You think I like going to that job?"
I know that's right.
And it just hit me what she was talking about. All I got to put up to make sure you eat.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was told I was doing what I normally do, being the smartest guy in the room. And then after the meeting, the guy came up to me. He said, "Hey, Keith, if we want your opinion, we'll give it to you."
Jesus.
Yeah.
Because every meeting I got to pop off. Every meeting, you know, it's just like, what's the smart guy over there have to say?
Yep. We had bets going. I bet you she gonna start up some in this meeting. Watch, she gonna say
Oh
something.
yeah,
You want the meeting to be over, but before it's over, she gonna rate. I just want to say, I don't know. Come on now, Lord, the meeting was almost over. We was almost out of here.
Almost out the door. Here you
Same
go.
question, 16 different ways.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're a manager.
Man.
So good morning, DJ. Good morning, Devo. Good morning, Jermaine.
Good morning.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, it is. And here's the one thing at the county: you will get fired if you ever say no to a direct order.
Really?
You will get fired. Oh yeah, that's an easy one. That's low hanging fruit for HR, right? So
it's like voluntold.
no, you're gonna get fired. So you have people they get right up to the line. They get right up to the line.
I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. I don't like it, but I'll do it.
Right. Because I used to say, here's your options: to do it or to do it.
So
Now, you pick one of them.
So that's like being voluntold.
No, that's like if you tell me no.
That's like mortgage.
Yeah,
paycheck.
mortgage.
What we were just talking about.
Get my check, Devo.
Y'all gonna give me my check now? No, we'll mail it to you.
Clear your desk out.
No, I want it now. No. That's not the procedure.
That's why I was kind of, as tragic as it was, because it scared them. Like, you don't fire anybody on a Thursday.
Come down at City Hall.
Down to City Hall. You fire them at the end of their shift.
On Friday.
You acted like everything is okay. Brought them donuts all day. Mr. Rideout, can I see you in the office before you get out of here?
You know what that is.
I had a job tell me, hey, man, when you get through with your route, can you come back this afternoon? Sure, I'll be back. I came on back.
All alone, they lied.
That was it.
They lied.
They say, you know what? You do good work, just not enough of it.
I got fired from a job. I was working in Dutchess County, New York. I went out there to work, Fresh Air Fund. So I was out there summer camp. So I get out there. I was wrong from when I got there, right? And then I didn't really like the setup.
You said you was what when you got there?
I was wrong. I didn't like the setup. It was the whole thing. So the guy called me in. I was only there for about 48 hours. Dude called me in. He said, and I love this. They never fire you. They go, hey, this is not going to work out.
Right.
This is not working out.
Companies decide to go in a different direction.
Yeah, we're going
without me.
Right. Yeah. We're separating ourselves from you.
Well, let me find my way back to you.
Yeah, you get
There's going to
fired.
be a separation here.
You get fired. And I said, but I thought about that there have been some jobs I should have got fired from, and I didn't. And there's probably some that I shouldn't have got fired from, and I did. So I guess that's justice.
Damn, how many times you get fired, Keith?
Not a lot, because I'm institutionalized. So, I like the check coming every 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know that's
Right.
So I'm gonna do enough. I'm gonna do enough to make sure that check is coming every 2 weeks. Now you got some folks, man. No matter what, they gonna fight. They gonna rumble. It's you just know it, man. I was
a friend of mine. He never would work a regular job, man. This dude would work
slow money
temp services. So every time he worked there a few months, he'd say, man, boss came to me, man. They getting ready to hire me. I said, well, you're done.
Yeah, it's over.
Because they ain't never got hired nowhere.
Right.
They getting ready to hire me. They want to bring me in $29 an hour, man. So, well, ain't no need of you going back there because they're not going to hire you.
Yeah, man. Whenever you get to that last bit of that contract
Mhm.
and it's time for them to hire you on,
Right.
that's when they fire you.
89 days.
Of course.
Yeah, that's
89
when.
days.
Yeah, that's when they fire you.
Of
So,
course.
So
So
they-
89 days. They don't
I mean,
fire
you get right to the gate. Though you
Right to
on
it.
time. You
Yeah.
coming to work jubilant. You
Especially
on time.
through the temp services because
oh man, that day you get
their
hired,
contract is up.
Doc, you getting fired. You did a good job, but what you mean? But
That's where they got that term going postal.
yeah, because I done worked all this
You know,
time.
ain't
I
nothing
got
worse
up
than-
early.
Fool at a post office.
Ain't nothing worse than that
and
when
they
you
got
can walk all through there while you an employee. You just walk all through there. Ain't
Yeah.
nobody bothering you. Nothing. Then when they walking you out, that's something else.
I had a buddy. He used to say, "Now, June, when I say don't come to work, don't say you ain't got to say nothing twice to me."
Right.
Shoot, man, you got But you know, the amazing thing, you're a manager, Debo. You've been a manager, you know.
Yes, sir.
These people know they ain't been working.
right. Oh my God.
They gotta know.
Don't get me. Don't
Yeah.
get me
They
started
gotta
with
know
that.
they ain't working.
Yeah.
And then when you come up to them like, oh man, and then I used to have to deal with a union. So the union come in and it's like, dude, you know he ain't working.
Right.
You know she ain't
Man,
working.
did nothing.
Hey, man, I had a girl tell me, you keep on talking, I'm going to turn in my 2-week notice. I said, tell you what, you don't need no 2-week notice. You can leave now. You're fired.
Right. We don't even need the courtesy.
I told the one.
I'm
person,
fired.
Mhm.
I need my. You didn't act like it a few minutes ago when you was
Right.
talking slick.
Hey,
That's one thing people could never do is say like, oh, I'll just turn in my stuff in right now. Okay, just turn your stuff in. Matter of fact, your stuff already here, so you could just leave.
I always love
I had a
that.
boss. She said, I can really help you find a job you're more suited for because it's not here.
Yeah.
And that's where I get that famous, we got people on the counter that should be on fries,
Mhm.
where you just not suited to the work that you supposed to do.
That's a good one.
Yeah, man. I mean, I tell you, as a manager, people always ask, they said, oh man, you never wanted to be a pastor? I said, nope.
Nada.
And they say, well, why not? Because I used to be a manager.
Hey,
And that's working with human beings. And I'm going to tell you, you cannot control the behavior of human beings. You don't know what you're getting on a given day, man. You
This is
walk
true.
in.
This is true.
Yeah, I had a woman, she was so full of herself. She put no in writing. Your mom got involved with that one. She'll tell you about that one. But she put no in writing.
Oh, she was on her way out the door.
Oh,
as soon as she
man.
wrote the
Oh,
O.
dude, I couldn't get downtown quick enough.
Once the O hit the paperwork, that was it.
Oh, man. And you put it in an email?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's-
Insubordination.
Insubordination. Refusal to follow a direct order. Make it easy for me. What do you think the number one reason for people getting fired, though?
Well, I ain't never got.
Could it be for money?
Actually, for me and the folks that I worked with, it was attendance.
Attendance. Attendance that
Oh yeah, showing up late, man.
showing up, not showing up.
Yeah, even the no call, no shows,
No,
or
Oh, that's my
tardiness.
favorite one.
I can't. Everybody know that I supervise.
Mm.
Coming up late, it don't sit well with me.
Oh, so you
See, I always
so you-
told them,
show up
so
late.
you
on
one of them
time-
type of dudes.
if you on
Oh,
time,
can't
you
show up
late.
so you
That's
can't,
Lombardi.
you can't show up
Can't
late.
show up
Yeah, if
late.
you on time, you late.
Especially because majority of the meetings is already talked about ahead of time. Like team meetings, that's already prior knowledge
me,
and
yeah.
all of that.
Yeah, but I
any
look at
trainings.
that's like Keith.
prior
Keith
knowledge.
might have a responsibility where, he needs to be gone by a certain time so that it doesn't throw his whole day off and the rest of his personal life. That work-life balance is what it's called. So if I know I'm supposed to relieve him, I should get there 15 minutes early so we can shift exchange. If there's anything he needs to bring me up to speed on or what have you, let's do that. And Keith can get on out the door.
Man, listen.
But when I don't respect him enough to be on time, that's when you need to go.
Listen, man. A few years ago, about 2020, about 2019, 2020, I started working this job called Pace Industries.
Mhm.
It was in Germantown, and we was making, we make car parts and all type of stuff. But you're working with hot metal and the robots. So, like the robots is spitting out the hot metal, and you got to catch it and do these things, right? So,
I think you told me about this one.
I get to work, and I'm like, man, I'm a musician, man. All this hot metal, just putting hot metal in the basket. I'm bending up, and I'm thinking about all of the tour dates and all that other stuff. I'm like, man, I should just walk up out of here, man. I should just leave. And what made me leave, Doc, was when that robot spit out a hot piece of metal that went down the back of my shirt, and I couldn't get it. And the management was just like, well, Keith, so you peoples, wave at them.
They were hot too.
Oh, hey, good morning. Let me shout out the good folks there at the New Pitch Mortuary, brother Nate Luckett. And I didn't. Was the limo with him, or was just the hearse?
I just saw the hearse there. I didn't see.
Well, good morning. Good morning. Good.
Yeah,
Good looking out.
Yeah, of course. You always want to.
And based on that video you showed me yesterday, me and Michelle was saying there could not be a Batesville casket.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Hey, termites was eating at the bottom of that truck.
That have been a
Hey,
Batesville
I'm about to
casket.
show you it, bro.
Oh my God.
But you were saying the hot metal went down your
Boy,
back.
that hot metal went down. I mean, it spit from that machine down my shirt, and I got to running around the plant out there. I told my supervisor, I said, I'm not coming back. I'm a musician. I need my hands. And they looked at me like I was crazy, but they probably still looking for me right now, 5 years
They ain't
later.
looking for you, trust me.
I was supposed to come in that next day. And
They knew
never
you wasn't
made it.
coming.
I was,
made it.
I
Keith, you ever lay bets?
no, man.
Because people would start, I'd be like, he ain't gonna make it 2 weeks. He ain't gonna make it.
Hey, listen, me, and I'm telling this story. Me and Rodney Poe went out to the job. We was out at Pace Industries. So we went in there together. It was funny.
two musicians.
Yeah, we went in there together because we was like, hey, man, we got to do something, man. It's COVID. Tour is down. Ain't nobody touring right now. But I'm thinking about all of these tour dates like, oh, my God. So we in there walking through the plant. It was the funniest thing because I looked at him and he was, he was going in for the orientation. He looked at me. I looked at him. He was like, you already know. He went in for the orientation. They let him go for lunch. He was like, hey, man, I'm never coming back.
I lived that.
And never came back.
They were building out Grand Avenue Mall. I graduated from college during the Reagan Depression, right? So jobs was hard. So I get this temp job. So the job is to go down and help with deconstruction. They were breaking down Woolworth. And so Woolworth had all these storage cabinets. So you got to break down the storage cabinets so they could scrap the metal. You knew I was in trouble when I showed up with jeans and a polo shirt and penny loafers. You knew I was in trouble, right? I wouldn't even come to work that kind of job. So
What you thought you was working in the office, Keith?
Huh?
You thought they had you in the office?
I don't know where I thought, man. So they looking at me like, well, the only thing we can put this dude on is just load, as they break the cabinets down, load the metal on the cart and carry the cart. One of the pieces of metal cut up my vast Weegians.
Oh my God.
Dude, and it was harder than I thought because I got to bend over, throw it over, make sure it don't fall off the cart that you pulling, man. At lunchtime, I never came back.
Yeah.
I never came back. I did 4 hours that day. And I said, there was a reason why I went to college.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I
was
was never a quitter like that, though.
No, man, I quit.
Hey, man, that's a temp service.
Hey, man, I give up.
Man, listen, long as they let me in, I was coming.
Okay.
I do a thing called intentional job searching. So I know what I'm looking for, and if it's even remotely sound like something that
You ain't doing it.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, man, I was in the freezer, man. I did that job in the freezer. It was so cold catching that meat.
Yes,
Well,
I ain't
man,
never been
Patrick
that.
Cudahy?
Yeah, Smithfield. It's called Smithfield now. Yeah. So, boy, that big slab of meat was moving so fast on that thing. It was
That's
coming.
the old peck, ain't it?
Yeah. And boy, that meat hit me in my hands. I'm looking at my hands. It's cold.
And don't forget, he's a musician.
Hey, I'm a musician,
so
man.
anything hitting him in the
Hey, man,
hand.
I need my hands.
I was a philosopher.
Yeah. So you need your brain.
I think
These
very
are-
deeply.
Let me, and caller won't grab you, but here's some hints that you might be getting fired. Unexpectedly harsh or frequent negative performance reviews. Being placed on a performance improvement plan. Increased micromanagement and scrutiny.
Yeah.
Everything you're doing is now being documented.
Yeah.
Less work to do compared to your colleagues.
Hey, once you get that recap email, oh, it's the start of the end.
Employers don't seem to be bothered
Yeah.
with your mistakes or performances. Signs you're getting fired because of misconduct or other non-performance related issues, violated company policy. Now this one, and I appreciate this, man. It's been 30 years of my life. Sharing confidential information, continuing to show up late despite warnings you've received,
See?
engaging in inappropriate behavior in the workplace. Oh, I love this one because I experienced this one. Exclusion from meetings and projects.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry. Hey, Keith, you don't have to show up for the meeting.
Man, you know what? Someone had put in their 2 weeks, and it was the last week of their 2 weeks. And I was like, oh, you don't need to be here for the meetings. They got upset.
Yeah, they wanted to be a part.
No.
You asked to leave. You wanted to leave. So you don't need to be a part of the meetings
I
anymore.
like this one.
What are you
Colleague
mad for?
seems more distant and awkward.
Yeah.
What is that?
Colleagues seem
Don't want to
more
tell you that
distant
they
and
know
awkward.
that you on your way out.
Everybody know. What's that song Scotty didn't know?
Yeah.
Everybody knew but Scotty. So,
Turn in your badge, Scotty.
HR or your boss wants to meet with you more often.
Mm-hmm.
You really don't care about your job. Anyway. Caller, welcome to the program.
Really don't care.
Hi, Keith. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm blessed. This is Angela.
Hey, Angela.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yep. Mr. Rideout, you know what to do later on. But anyway, Keith, my
Sound like Tom and
reason that
Jerry.
I got fired from jobs is because of my mouth. That's my reason that I got fired from a lot of jobs because of my mouth.
Insubordination.
I wasn't gonna let people talk to me like I was lesser than.
Like you were an
and they were
employee.
best people.
You don't talk to me like I know damn
Like
employee,
they signed
man.
the check.
That's
They gonna
it.
talk to me like you signed the check.
I'm still a human being.
Like you approving my time sheet.
So because you paying me, you expect me to do
How
that?
dare you talk to me like I'm an employee?
Right.
You expect me to work?
Expect you to work.
You want me to clock out?
No, I did my job.
Don't
But
sound like it, Angela.
no, listen. I'm just saying, but I understand that I had supervisors that was over me, but you still have to respect me if I'm respecting you. If I'm not saying anything wrong to you and you ask me to do something, if I'm having a bad day and y'all know it,
Wait.
then don't keep
Why do
pushing.
I have to
That
respect
ain't,
your
that ain't my responsibility. You have the bad day.
You leave that outside the workplace.
Can I finish?
But you got to leave that at home.
See, that's why you get fired. That's why you get fired.
Listen.
Can I finish? No, you can't
My reason I got fired is because of my mouth. Yes,
And we
I was
understand.
in the wrong. They wasn't wrong. I was wrong. That's why I got fired. Because I thought I was right and I knew I wasn't. But you still gonna get
Just
what you
leave it
gonna
alone,
get.
Angela. They thought I was, and I knew I wasn't, but they thought I was, and I had thought.
You just had it up to here. That's basically what that was.
You know what?
No, I loved my
You in
job.
trouble
The
at this
last
work,
job,
Angela.
I
Go
loved
home.
my job. I loved it, my job. It's just that I just,
You wanted your job?
I loved my job. Loved. I love working.
But you
I
ain't
mean,
get fired from that job, did you?
listen, every job I had, I was a hard worker.
But your last job, you ain't get fired.
Yeah,
from that
but you
job, did
talked more than you worked.
No.
Yeah.
No, I did not. My last job that I get fired from,
Mm-hmm.
let me think.
Let me think. You know what jobs you've been fired from. Trust me.
Let me think.
You can name them. Trust me.
One job I had to quit because I was scared to put that person's face in some hot grease. So I had to quit that job.
I can't believe they fired you for that.
What you
No,
think
they didn't
quit?
fire me. I had to quit. I quit because I knew I was gonna.
Yeah,
That's
police
why
was
you
after you.
moved.
That's why
Because you knew you was going to be fired.
Police was
I was
coming
gonna
every
go
day
to
to
jail
the job.
too. Not only get fired, I was gonna be in jail.
Yeah, that part too.
I like eating.
Yeah,
But that's smart though. You removed yourself.
right, exactly.
Before the police did.
You guys know. Y'all have a good day.
All right.
You too.
You know, I had my boss. I loved Eva Davis. Eva Davis was my supervisor, and she got a complaint from this customer, and so she called me in the office, and she was reaming me. Now she wasn't reaming me out, but she just, she as she should have been. She's going into me, and at the end of this, she said, "Keith, you don't have anything to say?" I go, "No, ma'am, because you're right."
Yeah.
That's the smart way.
Yeah, that's smart because it's
for
gonna
me
get
to
you a
even
good
sit up
standing.
here, I can't even defend this. You absolutely right.
Yeah.
Now, if we may, I excuse myself to go back to take care of this case.
Right.
But you got some people. I mean, we documented you wrong,
And that
and
is
you
my
still
thing.
fight me, dude. Like, come on, man. Come on, man.
I don't get where like you are working for an employer. So majority, if not everything that you do is documented and reviewable. So if something don't add up, it's probably because people have spent an enormous amount of time researching and finding this information.
But you know what I always say, DJ? Documentation can work for you or against you.
Because if you lying on documentation, that's easy to prove too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would tell the supervisors, don't do anything while you're angry.
Right.
Because now you're going to become the issue and not the employee.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure. Why don't we do this? We're going to take a break. Yeah. Because
You got a caller, Keith? I think you got a caller
You want
part.
to do the callers and then do a break?
Let's do the callers.
Caller, welcome to the program.
Don't take all day or you're going to be fired.
DJ firing everybody today.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How y'all doing?
All right.
Hey, man, what's
So,
happening?
All right. Hey, man, DJ is right about things. Man, because being a supervisor, man, it's hard to fire people, and they always make the big guy go fire him. Man, I don't want to be firing nobody. Man, that's dangerous.
No,
Yeah,
Because you got the
do it.
size. You got the size.
no. My
That's
philosophy,
dangerous.
my
man.
philosophy is this, brother. I don't fire people; they fire themselves.
Yeah, people usually when people get fired, they know it's coming. They know it's coming.
Right.
Yeah, they know it's
That's
coming.
all in your approach too. I mean, if you come in
Yeah.
like, get your stuff, you're out of here. No, you
Right,
say, hey, look,
right.
man, you know, we've been talking to you. We went through this, we went through that. So we've kind of come to that
Yeah,
fork in the road.
they know
where-
it's coming.
you ever get that phone call on your day off? Yeah, you
Man.
probably up out of there.
Hey, you know another.
That's
I think
probably up out of there.
I think the hardest job to have is that line job where if you mess it up, the whole machine get down.
Oh my God, yeah, man, that's what
That's
happened
a
to me.
stressful job, man.
Yeah.
That's a stressful job.
Yeah,
Peace,
Doc.
brothers. Y'all have a good weekend.
Hey, he ain't lying because
Yeah,
all
that's
that
the
meat, was coming down. I mean, fast and hard. So I'm trying to catch and stack and I finally gave up. All the meat started falling on the floor. I'm like, I quit, man. I'm a musician. It's cold.
We got one more caller before the
Quit.
break.
You fired.
Yeah,
Caller, welcome to the
I
program.
fired myself.
Caller, welcome to the program. Don't take all day or you will be fired.
hey, this actually happened. We looking at our schedule, man, and this dude says, "I'm not on the schedule." I said, "Yeah, you are, man. You're on your regular schedule." He said, "No, man, I'm not on the schedule." So we look. We said, "Oh, dang." So we're doing what's called the check-in because we security, and that's when you find out from one shift to the other what's going on. So he looks at the supervisor. He says, "I'm not on the schedule." He said, "Yeah, why don't you just give me your hat and your coat and your badge?" In front of all of us.
You got fired from top flight.
Normally in a situation like that, they're gonna take you in a room. It's gonna be 2 or 3 supervisors, and they're gonna talk to you. But they dogged this dude. They just didn't like him, man. I mean,
Well, you know what?
my man said, he said, "So you want my shirt and my pants too?" The supervisor said, "Not your pants, but you can give me the shirt." I said, "Come on, man."
They fired that cat clean.
Hey, was that on your list? If you're not on that, if you're not on the schedule,
No.
Yeah, that is a good one. If you're not on that
Yeah.
schedule, yeah, you probably up out of there.
I got some other little hints too. Like,
You probably
are there
Yeah.
boxes outside your office that weren't out there when you left yesterday? Is your personal effects outside the office when you come in the morning? That might be a hint that you get ready to get fired.
I got one. I didn't get fired,
Listen.
but this one.
You roll up to
I
the
didn't
gate
get fired,
and, your,
but this
and,
is what
your,
happened.
and your key don't work no more. That little pass thing, and you can't get in. So you got to go to the security office.
Yeah.
And they like, oh yeah, by the way, yeah, they deactivated that Friday when you left. You try to go in the email over the weekend, so you be up on things when you get there Monday, and damn, my email ain't working.
I'll let you.
Let me call IT.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Hey, check with HR Monday because I don't know what's going on. It's not working.
Oh, then everybody,
Check with
nobody
HR.
know nothing, man. But woo, man, when you in trouble, and look, remember I talked about violating confidentiality. People be talking about your stuff all the time. You know it. Supervisors not, but you know supervisors still have friends on the line.
Oh yeah.
You know, so they going like, you know, it's on the keys, right? Don't say nothing. You know, you walking in the office, it's like dead man walking.
Hey, there you go. He just walked in. He just walked
Green
in.
mile, you doing the green mile, man. They going like,
He'll be out of it in about 2 minutes. He ain't gonna be in there long.
You know, one of the funniest parts about being a manager is, you know, before you head into, you know, the workers' cubicles or whatever, you hear a whole lot of chatter. But as soon as you walk in, everybody mysteriously working.
Quiet.
yeah, the
Quiet.
first day.
You know, I always laugh when that
Oh
happens.
man, I had a thing, and that's the other thing about us because we were so computerized.
Mhm.
I know how much time you spending on the case.
Yep.
I know how much time you spending. Then when I had the telephones, I know who was on the phone. I know who was in the queue. So one time I called MATC.
Mhm.
They had me on hold for like 25 minutes.
Mhm.
So now I'm looking at the monitor. I have one person working. One person. And you know, the queue is long. I
Right.
mean, you know, it's like one person. So finally, when I just gave up on MATC, I walked downstairs. One woman is doing her taxes. Now,
What?
yeah, now here's how it works for me. If I'm sitting there doing something at my desk that I shouldn't be doing, and the manager walks in, what will you do?
Stop doing what you're
Hey,
doing.
hey.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Get to work.
she looking at me like, "What up?"
Cause some people bold.
'Cause they don't
They
believe.
bold, man.
They don't believe.
She looking at you like,
Yeah.
What?
can I help you?
Yeah, what's your problem?
Don't you see me working?
Can't you see I'm busy?
Can I help you?
Now I could tell you it was so funny. This young lady, she came in, and every morning I come into work. Good morning, Mr. Parris. Good morning, Mr. Parris. I go to, hey, I say, good morning, Pat. Good morning, Mr. Parris. Good morning, Mr. Parris. So this kind of went on for 6 months. Good morning, Mr. Parris. He's the only one. Hey, how are you? How they? I walked by a cubicle. I said, good morning. She go, what?
Uh-oh.
What? It was. Yeah, she made probation.
Yeah.
She made probation.
She was off. She passed it, huh?
Right, she passed probation now, so I'm gonna talk to you anyway I want to talk to you. Like, oh, okay, that's how that works.
So
Okay,
that's what we doing.
that's what we doing here, man. Yeah, I that's why I told people, man, it is. If you think, like, a lot of people like the idea that they're gonna be, and I hate to use the term boss, because you really are kind of a leader. There's supervision. You learn some things, you know, like how you're dealing with people. I learned a lot because I'm gonna tell you, man, I was one of those people. This is my way. It might be your way, but sometimes the way you get people. Now, there's some people that they'll run through the walls for their supervisors, right? What you know, and then you have others who just going like, man. So, but you know what? If you're a manager, you're not a victim. You're just a volunteer.
Mhm.
It goes along with the tear. You take the paycheck.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you still cashing that paycheck. I had some folks, and I don't believe this, that they owe to keep. They said, do we do slow checks? Do we do old checks?
Right.
Yeah, we don't do old and
Same
slow
check.
check. You coming in every week getting paid, you know,
Mhm.
and you know, and it wasn't. I think if you're able to organize it, this is what I really learned as a man. I tell people I'm a Babylonian. Babylonians were meticulous record keepers.
Right.
And so filing, and so my first job was really a glorified file clerk, and we had paper files, man, and they had to be in a certain order. And I wasn't like, oh man, this is not what I signed up for.
But man, you know what I found out?
I thought we had a break.
And we're going to give you this for free of charge today. It's not going to cost you anything, listeners, or anybody, even in this room. When you have a job, there are some expectations.
What are those expectations, Debo?
Do the work.
Oh no, let's start from the beginning where DJ. Well, what's the first one?
Get on time. Don't get me started, man.
And work. I remember one woman told me one day, I work hard. I said, we pay you to work hard.
Jermaine, what's your take on that, man?
I was just gonna ask an off the wall question.
Okay. My wife is still mad at you for the question you asked yesterday. You listen to Community Voice. It was a question. I get in the car and she wear me out. Now I get home.
Glad it wasn't me.
Right.
Hey man, better him than me.
And then my godson yelling at me because I didn't cut this dude off.
Hey man, somebody got to let it tell the testimony. Might as well be me.
All right. Well, they say crucifixion needs a witness. Caller, we see you.
I told you about this explaining weeks ago.
They say Lucy Ball, you got some explaining to do.
Then she was sitting there. She said, and of course Jermaine had to ask you that question. I said, we'll be right back.
To Community Voice with your host Keith Parris and Devon Jones, DJ The Protege.
All right, welcome back to Community Voice. Caller, we thank you for your patience. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, you on there?
Hey, good morning. Good morning,
Good morning.
Keith. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Yeah, interesting subject. I happen to have been a supervisor before, and man, it's not an easy job. However, it gave me a wide education in regards to dealing with people. It takes a special person to be a supervisor. If you're a good supervisor, you can last. But if you're a bad supervisor, it'll end up catching up with you. I had the opportunity of I worked for a manufacturing company, and I had the opportunity to take some poor employees with bad working habits and making them some of the best employees in my department. And so I commend the supervisors. That has helped people in their careers.
All right, appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's a couple of things. One, I can't want your job more than you do. Okay. Because guess what? You ain't giving me none of your check. And I used to tell the supervisors, you give the ulcers, you don't get them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, and what that means is that you be going, here's the other thing that I learned. And human resources, they talk about, it's called a blind spot. And you have to be careful of blind spots. You have to be careful of making exceptions. So at the county, we had around holidays, you had to have at least 2/3 of the staff there, right? And then vacation was then before, what was it, Act 10? Before Act 10, vacation was based on what is it? Seniority. And so you would have people, and certainly management. So we'd have 5 supervisors, 2 of them are off, then the other one comes in, want to know, can I be off? It's slow. Like, nope. And I'm gonna tell you as a manager, do not make exceptions to the rules. That will come back to bite you in your butt. I know that's your favorite person. I know you think it's cool, but trust me, the rest of the staff is watching.
Yeah.
And they're looking for that. That is, so it's better to have them there mad, than
Right.
you let them off, and now you've lost all control.
Oh, they stay mad at me.
So my thing is, it is what it is. If seniority was the reason how you get off now, and then what I found out was, anyway, for the county, seniority was not part of the civil service rules.
Mm-hmm.
And so seniority was something negotiated in a contract. It's part of contract language. That's why now, even I think with the teachers union, unless this part has been codified in terms of your work rules or your work policies, then it's at the discretion of the supervisor.
See, I'm open about the exception is not the rule, because like you said, employees talk, and I'm open about the exception is not the rule. And then I also say, worry about yourself, because some of that stuff don't concern.
How well has that gone over? I mean, just it hasn't.
It's straight for me.
Yeah, but it hasn't with them. They're still gonna worry about themselves. And everybody's looking for
worry about yourself. They're supposed to worry about themselves.
No, what I'm saying is that you say just worry about yourself.
Right.
Of course they worry. That's why they're in there doing what they're doing, and they want to be able to show.
But you can't be as when I go to exception to the rule. You can't be worried about why. That was the case when you don't even do X, Y, and
but
Z.
that argument, especially when it's codified, if it's one of those things where you have a lot of discretion, then that's a different piece. But when it's codified,
discretion, yeah,
I don't have that discretion. I mean, I could do it and I could let you do it, but the long-term consequences of it means that other people are gonna see that it happened. One of the great work rules they put into place was that you could not call in sick the day before or day after a holiday without a doctor's excuse. That was one of the greatest things that ever happened. Because, man, prior to that little policy, you had people like Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
So they sick today, and they're going to be sick on Tuesday.
Yeah. Premeditated.
And then also, calling in before or after your scheduled vacation.
That's another one without a
Yeah.
doctor's excuse.
Yeah.
I mean, I got it. Now, some things you just have to learn is bought sense. They used to have something informally called a mental health day.
Mhm.
That's where you take your sick day and you do a mental health day.
Mhm.
And my mental health days used to be on Tuesdays because I go to the mall, ain't nobody there.
Mhm.
All the new music's coming out on Tuesday. I mean, that was my, hey, don't skip work on Monday and Friday. You gotta be sick if it's a Tuesday or a Wednesday.
Right.
I mean, so what I was doing was using sick time. And I really got sick.
Mhm.
I mean, I really got sick, like sick.
And you had to show up to work.
Man, and the only thing that I benefited from was I was a salaried employee,
Mhm.
which means that all I have to do is just get there
Mhm.
because I'm 24/7, right? So if I get there, I'm at work.
Yeah.
But man, so I learned after that. So when I retired, I had close to 900 hours. Oh, that ain't even close to somebody very well. I don't know, to this day, this woman is a legend because she had a lot of sick time when she retired.
But she used to have vacation and all that. But no,
She didn't abuse sick time.
no, she didn't. It was very rare. It was very rare that she didn't go in because she was.
And she had 2 kids.
Yeah.
While she worked there. And wait a minute, I'm telling you, man. So, what happened with the county? They changed it, but you got paid out. So, when you retired, for the state, I think, and the city,
What was y'all accruals for sick?
I don't even remember, 3 something.
Was it per pay period?
Mhm.
See, that's a lot.
Yeah, it was something. It was.
So I'm at it's just per month. So
See, now what they do
that ain't nothing.
is they just call it. I think a lot of people call it. Was it PTO or
Mhm.
where everything, your sick time, personal days,
okay.
is all in this pot of just time. For the county, it was designated. Was it sick time? Was it vacation time? And here's the other thing.
See, some jobs that front load you, and there's some jobs that you have to earn it. You know.
And here's the other thing. You never want to have time without pay. Psychologically, you never want to have time without pay.
Well, my job, they don't even approve that.
No, I'm just saying, let's say you're on you used all your sick time,
Mm-hmm.
you used all your vacation time, and now you can't get in, and now you're doing time without pay.
I mean, we don't even approve that. So if you do that, that's a write-up.
Yeah. So
you gotta have the time.
Well, anyway, so thank you all for being part of Management 101. You can go online to do the review.
Oh, I actually got to finish a review
today. One of the things they ended up, it's funny how they tell you don't dig ditches for others because you'll fall in the ditch. And being that guy that would always pop off, we had a change in administration. And part of it was me. I was wrong on some of this in retrospect. You can get old in a job and just feel like just the way you've been doing things is just the way it should just be done.
Mm-hmm.
And there's these little things like invention, like electricity and computers. And so they were going to do, but they were doing some other things too. They were, I believe this, consciously trying to undermine the work of the staff to justify privatizing some of the work.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, I'm a manager, but I'm really pushing back on this and the whole thing. So they didn't get tired of me, right? To the point that my advocacy, the union would use my advocacy when they're talking to manager. Oh, so a manager? So it got tough. So, but it wasn't a performance issue.
Right.
Right. So they got together, came up with a plan and said, what we'll do with Keith? Why don't we just make him what was that? It wasn't even changed in civil service, wasn't even a real position where I'd be responsible for training supervisors.
Mm-hmm.
So I lose all my staff, I lose a secretary, and at one point at the height, I was supervising 90 people. I lost all of that in my
you was
office.
A man.
No, but it was everybody. It was a lot of staff.
Well,
so
for you to have a secretary, you definitely.
Oh
man.
Yeah, we had and so lost all of that. So they announced.
So you had to do 90 reviews.
No, I had supervisors. I was a manager.
Okay.
So so I kind of remember what the title was they gave me, but this is what they're gonna do, and they made the announcement, right? It was a punishment.
Mm-hmm.
Two things are gonna happen. He'll get there and he'll continue, he'll mess up, and we can really fire him. Or he'll quit. Or if he does it well, that's why we moved him over there.
That's 3 things, Keith.
Okay, 3. I can't count. So that's probably why they moved me. I couldn't
Right.
count. We dealt with numbers. So I sat, man, I was so depressed because that's an ego thing.
Yeah.
You know, that my ego was crushed, man. I mean, I was just deflated, just oh man, I'm going into depression. So
But then you gotta think, a lot of that stuff you don't gotta worry about no more.
well that so Bobby, my good friend Bobby, me and him and Fred sitting over there at 1:30 when I should be in the office. 1:30, I'm sitting over there and I'm complaining about how they done dogged me. They dogged me out, dog. They dogged me out. Bobby go, June. When he called me June, that's when I'm stupid. Go, June. He said, what you doing right now? Sitting here talking to you and Fred. He said, what time is it? 1:30. He says, anybody looking for you? I said, yeah, that's true. They said, do you have to go to meetings now? Hey, wait a minute. And then here was the sealer. This sealed the deal. He said, you still getting paid the same thing? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm quiet. I ain't saying nothing else.
Now to the point where, what was that? When Joseph met up with his brothers, he said, what you meant for evil,
Yeah.
God
Turn
meant for
around for
good,
good.
right? And so they throw me a party because they thought I'd have got promoted. They threw me a party.
He was really
I
demoted.
had a dude come up. I wasn't demoted anything. They
weren't
put
demoted?
they put me like in a purgatory. I was
wow.
just they go. I had a buddy come up, one of my coworkers. He said, Keith, I was looking for that position. I didn't see it posted. And I said, Jeff, it ain't a real position, right? I don't know how to tell him that.
Yeah.
So now I'll never forget. I had a blank piece of paper on my screensaver. I got to do something.
Mm-hmm.
I got to do something. And for a whole week, I stared at that blank piece of paper.
Really?
I got to do something. My wife was at Aurora at the time. And so they had a leadership. I don't know if hers was the Leadership Academy, but they developed their managers and supervisors.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the job they gave me?
Wow.
So, man,
Wow.
I looked at that blank piece of paper. Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together a whole training thing for supervisors and managers.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It became very successful. Now you hear people. That's why we moved them over there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
want to take credit.
Yeah, take credit. So sometimes it seems like okay. My they always say that what was it? Some people close the door, God will give you a window. And it wasn't even that. I wouldn't even be in that deep spiritually. It wasn't like, Lord, show me what to do.
Turn lemons into lemonade.
Man, it was just kind of like, okay, we could do it. And I think we ended up calling it the Leadership Institute.
Mm-hmm.
And I still have pictures. All the supervisors, some of the managers went through it. I learned how to do surveys. I mean, it was a whole. So here's all I'm saying. That it might seem like a momentary defeat. Just keep on moving.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I ain't getting all deep and spiritual. I know people, what God has for you, and even that. Sometimes it's on you. Now, the reason why I was in that situation was because of me.
Right.
You're listening to Community Voice. When we get back, we'll be doing the Protege's Perspective. We'll be right back.
WRN News.
I'm Jamie Jackson. The Justice Department is investigating whether the city of Chicago has made hiring decisions based on race. This comes after Mayor Brandon Johnson publicly praised the diversity of his administration last weekend. During a recent appearance at Apostolic Church of God in Woodlawn, Johnson listed several top aides, describing each one by race. He said the deputy mayors for infrastructure and economic development are Black women, along with the city's planning and budget directors. He also noted Black men in senior advisory and operational roles. That prompted a letter from the Assistant Attorney General, who said the remarks raised concerns that the city may be favoring one racial group in hiring. Now, according to the letter, the Justice Department will look into whether there's a broader pattern of race-based decisions across city government. Officials say they haven't reached any conclusions and are asking for the mayor's cooperation. For AURN News, I'm Jamie Jackson.
Here's your updated forecast. We'll see periods of rain showers here for today with cloudy skies and high into the upper 40s. Winds out of the north around 5 to 15 miles per hour. Then for tonight, a good chance for rain, cloudy, and temperatures holding steady. By Thursday, a slight chance for rain showers, cloudy, high around 54 degrees. Friday, mostly sunny, high of 56. Saturday, we'll see some sunshine, high 57. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on AM 860, The Voice.
Are you thinking about buying a home? Get the information you need from industry experts. Housing Resources HUD approved workshops will explain the home buying process, share credit requirements, and share how to access down payment assistance up to $10K or more. It's time to make an investment in your future. Sign up for Housing Resources Home Buyer Education Workshops at hri-wi.org. That's hri-wi.org or call 414-461-6330. That's 414-461-6330.
Saturday afternoons are always special, whether you're moving around, cleaning, working, or whatever you may be doing. Be sure to join me, Chris Levy, from 2 until 6 inside the Saturday Afternoon Backtracks and More show. I'll be featuring the Dramatics, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Teddy Pendergrass, Barry White, Aretha Franklin, Frankie Beverly and Mays, and so much more. I'll also have God's Word of the Day, and you know I'll be digging in my grandmother's praise too. So be sure to join me, Chris Levy, every Saturday from 2 until 6 inside the Saturday Afternoon Backtracks and More show, right here at 860 WNOV, 106.5 FM, W293CX. Yes, we are the voice.
860 AM, 106.5 FM, WNOV, the voice. Voice with your host, Keith Parris and Devon Jones, DJ The Protege.
All right, welcome back.
In a world full of expectations and perception, an added pressure can be present in your mind, body, and spirit to perform. Whatever the desired results may be, it can weigh heavily on your conscience. There are other cases where you may feel pressure to get the attention of a special person, where you just can't figure what the words or actions should be to put together for that breathtaking interaction. You feel that this particular moment has to stand out and set you apart. I can list 100 of scenarios where you have to be on your A game and how you have to meet or even surpass expectations. But who are these expectations for to begin with? And furthermore, why were those expectations set? Whether it's in a competition setting, job setting, or social or relationship setting, there will always be requirements and expectations set or established. In some cases, those expectations are presented ahead of time. And in other cases, we often make up what's required in our mind to either alleviate the uncertainty or to overcompensate for what we don't have. The latter part harkens on insecurities for a possible negative result or interaction. Disappointment and embarrassment are universal in two ways. One, no one is excluded from those feelings and experiences. And two, it is not a pleasant feeling. When attempting to achieve any measure of satisfaction, there are several things that will be present in itself. There will be a great challenge that will bring headache and great accomplishments. Through it all, lessons will unfold, and it is those that through time should be told. Before, during, and after those lessons, there is one thing that should never cease to be told. I am, or you are enough. No matter what the obstacles may be, I am, and you are enough. Whenever there is doubt presented in your direction, just remind yourself, I am, and you are enough. Whenever there are times where you think you have to switch up who you are just to get ahead or receive some acknowledgement, just remind yourself, I am, or you are enough. So many times we look outwardly when everything we want and need resides inwardly. We may need to dig a little deeper, but it's already there. The perceptions of others, plus the pressure and expectations we place on ourselves, often shifts our mood and mind into very overwhelming places. All in all, no matter who it is, what it is, or where it's at, you should always hold true to this fact. I am, and you are enough. Gosh, snapping, can't even hear the snaps, man.
I could never snap my fingers. That's one thing I could never do, man. We were rehearsing. I was at rehearsal, and so the kid was on the drum, and I was sitting over, by the drum kit,
Mm-hmm.
and the musician said, "You one of the drummers?" I was like, "No, man." I said, "But I play a mean cowbell, so you got fever for a cowbell." Pop, 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 pop. Caller, welcome.
Dang, that's crazy. You got one.
Hey man, I keep cowbells.
Is that Mississippi? Is that Mississippi State? That's Mississippi State with the cowbells, right?
Is
I don't
it?
know.
Yeah, I think it's Mississippi State to do the cowbell.
Hmm.
The 6 was first.
6.
Yeah.
All right.
Caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning, Pastor Pete.
What up, Mike?
What up, DJ?
Good morning.
What up, Sledgehammer?
Hey, what up, Jack?
Where's Simon at?
Man, Simon on top of the building somewhere, man. We don't know where that cat at, man.
Simon Bar Sinister.
Hey, we got a new sponsor this week. I'm very excited.
Uh-oh.
B-Bobbitt's Bed and Breakfast, where they offer daily rates, weekly rates, or monthly rates. And this weekend, for the WNOV listeners, they have minute rates for all you minute man out there. We're going to go live to B-Bobbitt's Bed and Breakfast with the Dungeon. We're live at B-Bobbitt's Bed and Breakfast, where they got the minute rate this weekend for the WNOV listeners. Let me see if I can find a customer. Hey, man, what's up, man? You here for a minute rate? Oh, you here with your granddaughter, huh? Hold on, y'all. That's all right, fool. I know your wife. Get a caller. I'm down here with the minute rate. Back to the studio. Gotta go, man. Oh shit! Oh man! Oh, I gotta go! Gotta go!
He there with his granddaughter.
His granddaughter.
No joke, man.
That cat is crazy.
I know one of our sponsors, Red Roof Inn, where you can spend the night.
And bring a guest.
Wow.
Dude, oh man, he there with his granddaughter. Yeah,
That's hilarious.
That's crazy, man.
I missed it. I was out of the studio, man. I missed the whole damn
Oh
thing.
man.
Oh man.
You missed nothing.
I ain't missed nothing.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's all.
Dude said, "I know your wife."
I know your wife. Wait, we're getting caller. Caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning. You on there?
Good morning. Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
I wanted to get in right after you finished with your perspective. Is that what you call that?
Yes.
Listen, I hope you've been keeping them over the years. Have you?
Yes.
I got a couple.
And I hope you one day put them in a book. I think it's really excellent. And if you go back over and pick that same topic, see if 5 or 6 years later you feel the same way about what you said. But what's happening today in the Trump administration?
Ho. We don't talk about this dude on Friday. That's our rule. No.
You don't talk.
We don't talk about
I just want
him.
to use one of the perspective how people are cheating their challenge and going with a lie and not doing, just selling their integrity, in other words, and their intelligence.
Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing. And on Fridays, what is this? Y'all don't talk about this.
No. We
issues,
just
none of
don't
that.
talk about him on Friday. We can talk about anything else, but not him on Fridays.
Well, he plagues our life.
Except
And
on
you know
Fridays.
that the bill that they passed, ridiculous. And I'm hoping when people go and vote,
Yes.
vote for a Republican that vote for your interests, for the well-being of the people,
Too heavy,
and
too
not
heavy,
for
too
the
heavy
man.
for a Friday. Too
And
heavy for a
anybody
Friday,
with
baby.
good sense know. I was a buyer before I retired. We could not accept a gift over $25. And he said it's best not to accept anything.
Most
And
companies
they're-
have that rule that you cannot accept anything over $25. Most companies. I know the county
That's
has
what
that
I'm
rule.
saying.
Yep. All right.
So
But
why
we ain't
would-
talking about him on Friday.
Yeah, we
Oh, wow,
really
this
try
is
to keep
so
it light. We try to keep it light on Friday. You know, we're going into the
Oh,
weekend.
okay, let's keep it light.
Yeah, because
It's the same thing. I want to breathe every day too, but it's some issues that come up that might affect that.
Yeah.
I had a great day.
Hey, that was a good one. You know what's nice is that I was just thinking about her because I haven't heard her.
She was
in
actually
a
here at
while.
the station
and
a couple of weeks
and
ago.
then she just called.
She stopped in. I knew her voice.
So I'm
I
glad
had
she
never met her
called.
before, and she actually talked to Jermaine, and he didn't
Yeah.
recognize that it was her. but
Yeah,
it was
she
Yeah, I
was
met
here.
her. They're doing some work over. I'm trying to think of that organization she was with. but we used to be out there.
No, I haven't had the pleasure to meet her. I haven't had the pleasure to meet her,
Just tell everybody we don't talk about this dude on Friday. Why ruin our weekend?
Yeah.
All right, go on. Call her. Welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning, man. Well, I was just listening to DJ, man, and I think it would be a great thing if Giannis and Dame could get a hold to that last take that he had, because they are enough. And so what I was thinking about is how the lack of development of young players is really one of the large problems that both have.
Yep.
Keith, would you agree?
Yeah.
Can you imagine Kevin Porter Jr. taking a step up, like toward that area where Tyrese Maxey is? Not that he's as talented as him, but he's shown great strides, and maybe you would have a big three there, where you don't have to look outside, and a lot of the other things that DJ said. Just to me, I said Giannis should be reading this on the sideline like that guy from the Philadelphia Eagles all season. And maybe between Thanasis and DJ, if the Bucks would hire DJ to be their inspirational guy, like the man from CB4, Baba, what's his name?
Yeah, Baba.
I believe we would be the championship area.
Baba.
Because DJ, I was truly inspired, and I thought about Kobe Bryant suffering those years between Shaq and Paul Gasol, and I'm going to keep saying that that's where Giannis is right now, and maybe maybe you should be down there and fight surf for him.
But you know what? He mentioned something in the perspective expectations, and sometimes our expectations are either unrealistic or too high. And I think that because the Bucks won a championship in 21, we think every year they can win a championship. Where and so it's like the Packers. That we don't want to see the Packers have. We expect the Packers to go to the Super Bowl every year. All right. So, and they haven't in many years. About 15 years now. It's about 15. So yeah, I think that's part of it. And so the patience. So when you talk about developing younger players, when you got a win now mentality, it's hard for younger players then to be developed, because you got to put the horses out there to make sure you win.
And Keith, most teams never win championships. The Lakers and Celtics have won about half of them.
Right. That's why Eli Manning is so phenomenal.
Yes.
No, he's not phenomenal. What is y'all talking about? Don't go there. Don't listen to it.
If we're measuring by championships, we have to say that
he got rings. He got rings.
You know how people overemphasize rings in some instances, and then move the goalposts in others.
Big Ben got rings too.
Big Ben was a good quarterback.
Big Ben was an excellent quarterback
when he was healthy.
What has Pittsburgh sniffed the Super Bowl since he's left?
Nope. No, they didn't even have no playoff wins
since he left. Yeah, I'm just saying, man. A lot of times
he was a part of all of those playoff losses too, though.
Yeah, well, feast and famine, right? Scott Favre, what's his name? Brett Favre.
Keith, a lot of times I compare like the Packers.
That's how he was introduced when he was drafted. It was Brett Favre.
So was Atlanta drafted.
Keith, if you think about how many times North Carolina went to the Final Four before they won a championship, that's what I compare the Packers continually during the end of Aaron Rodgers' tenure, going to the NFC Championship game. And Dean Smith was considered one of the greatest coaches ever, not just for the championship, but his repeated marches to the Elite Eight and the Final Four, right?
Guy Lewis at Houston. And look, a lot of people don't realize back in the day, Duke was a perennial power in the ACC. And they get the Final Fours, they get to the tournament
and
lose.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, I think, but like I said, things line up. I think this year is a lineup year. Another one of those lineup years where if you just kind of looked at some of these teams and other teams were healthy, we wouldn't be talking about the Pacers. We probably wouldn't.
The Pacers are a good team.
Yeah, but I'm just saying if other teams are healthy.
I can't go with that, because every year somebody's gonna get hurt.
That's what I'm saying about the lineup. I got that. But what I'm saying is
you just gotta get it done. Ain't that what I said last week? You just got to get it done. We don't want to hear about no excuses.
You can't get it done on one leg.
About who was it.
You can't get it done on one leg.
Yes, you can.
No, you cannot.
Well, you could.
You
At
can
least
attempt
try.
to get it done.
Right.
Okay, well, get that, but and let me do.
And then on that one leg, I don't want to hear about you only having one leg.
Let me do you. That ain't no excuse.
Right, it ain't.
You out there on one leg.
There ain't no pass. Hey, Keith, would you say that the healthiest team most of the time wins?
Yeah, the healthier, talented team.
Yeah,
right. I think that there's a lot that goes into it. The Bucks were relatively healthy during that run, and we survived the real scare when Giannis got hurt in the Atlanta right before. Right,
but we lost DiVincenzo too.
Keith, say that one more time. We survived.
We lost who?
DiVincenzo is
The
in
white
the conference
Michael
finals
Jordan,
right now.
Delaware.
He's
Hey,
a
Keith,
solid
Keith,
player.
Can you say that again?
Well, he wasn't good
now
when he was with
Giannis got
the
hurt?
Bucks. He wasn't playing how he.
It was
no, he
right
wasn't
before
playing.
the Atlanta series, right? Or during the Atlanta series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in the
And
Atlanta
so the
series.
excuse that the Brooklyn Nets was making, that's what I call the Brooklyn Nets, was that they were injured. But we just had a player who was able to play even though he was injured because he was a superior athlete to those other guys.
No, wait.
He did show up. He did show up in that Nets series.
He did show up, but if we gonna be honest, let's tell the truth, man.
We won that series because of Drew Holiday and PJ Tucker.
And Kyrie was hurt. James Harden was hurt.
Who?
Kyrie was hurt.
He don't never show up.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Game winner, game 7.
Thank you.
Against,
Hold on.
I'm talking about the dude with the beard.
Hold on.
He don't never show up in the playoffs. I don't even want to hear that.
Wait. Hold on. Wait. Now, if it wasn't for James Harden and KD, when Kyrie went down, it would have never even been a series like that. They carried him.
You can never rely on a dude with the beard.
I get what I'm relying on you.
So, like Muhammad Ali, Giannis got back up and they weren't able to because he was superior athlete.
I don't know what you talking about.
Okay, then, boss. Okay. I get. Okay. Hey, I had to shake his hand on that one. He killed me on that one. He said, and I show up and popped his collar on the player. Okay. Okay. I had to shake his hand for that one.
That is him.
Hey, he is him. Yeah, he is him. Yeah. Hey, okay. Again, brother.
No, I think it's all that. You know, we can get into the hard facts like the analytics and all that, and that's an important part of it. But then there are other factors that's outside of the control of, you know, where you are. What was it? The year, the strike year. It was a strike year.
99.
Yeah, where, you know, Bucks were doing really, really well. And then
that was the year that they canceled the season.
Yeah, and then the strike season happened. You know,
They would have won the championship.
they probably could have won the championship.
2016 or something.
Yeah, they could have won the championship.
Yeah. It was
2016.
It was something like.
But it was something where
The Cavs won 2016.
Yeah. Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Well, they had to.
They came back from 3-1.
Yeah.
You're talking about 2020. And 2020, the Bucks was actually
Yeah,
on the
that's right.
downward,
2020.
but they was actually on the
that's
downward.
the
The pandemic actually saved the Bucks because if you remember, the start of 2020, the Bucks was losing, and Giannis had got hurt. So yeah, so then the pandemic happened, and that kind of saved us because then they just, you know,
we caught the heat, didn't we?
right. But I'm saying the Bucks season was in a downward spiral anyway.
I thought they was doing good. They was in like.
I don't know if it was the Bucks.
They were doing good, but I'm saying,
or was it the Yankees? There was a team that
2020 hit.
they were going to win, and then the strike happened. They had a strike, and
I wasn't the Bucks. They was in first place. They weren't gonna win because I remember this. They was not looking good, and at that time, Giannis was going to be the MVP, but then he had got hurt, and then LeBron and the Lakers was looking really good, and then all of a sudden the pandemic happened, and so, you know, if you remember, Giannis was like running away with it, and then he had got hurt. The Bucks started to struggle, and that did that. So yeah,
All right,
I don't
man.
know.
But I agree with you.
Probably
I think we'll see now if they have the patience to say we're going to develop. Not that they have that many young players.
Man, and that cat Tyler Smith is nice. He can shoot.
To the caller's point, and I made this point yesterday. I think I got to keep reverting back to what I say because, you know, I be making sense 50% of the time.
Jeez.
49. That's still a good percentage.
Great one. Share your insight. Great
one.
Success, you cannot microwave success. You have to go through the ups and the downs and developing how to learn. And every team and every year isn't the same. We should have learned from getting rid of Bud. We should have learned from getting rid of Adrian Griffin. We should have learned from getting rid of Drew Holiday that you just can't microwave a championship.
Man,
so we got to just figure it out.
But emotion removed from it, the Bucks weren't going to get any better with Drew Holiday.
Well,
Griffin.
But
no, hold on, don't.
No. But what I was going to say is that, but you can still keep that core,
right,
and then
try to build
retool the role players.
Where's our Cam Johnson?
Yeah, but you know, Adrian Griffin, the reason why he got fired is what he said to Giannis' brother.
I don't think he said
no.
that.
It's true. It's true.
So question caller is, will the Bucks resign Thanasis?
Yeah,
we
need him.
I was just about to say that he may be the missing ingredient.
He is. I don't know why y'all
he hustled
about that.
He played defense.
He wasn't.
Jeff Teague even said it.
Not for any of the reasons that Jermaine just said, but he's the best. He's the best foul waiver. Somebody told me this. He's the best foul waiver.
No, let the caller finish. What you say?
Let him cook.
DJ, do you know who Emil Carr?
Yeah, with the Celtics.
Okay. You a man before you, well, wise beyond your years, brother. Thanasis is the best towel waiver. Somebody told me this recently.
Yeah.
Since Emil Carr.
And you know what? When they won the championship, he was on the team.
Yeah.
That matters.
And he was waving that towel. He was waving that towel. He was waving that towel with muscle.
He got more rings than Charles Barkley.
Yeah, he got more rings than Charles Barkley. Yeah.
You cannot.
A lot of people in the league got more rings than Charles Barkley.
No, but that.
Would you say Charles got rings?
Dennis Dimbo got a championship, Keith.
Yeah. To the caller's point, what he's saying is that the enthusiasm and the
energy
that he brings,
yes, sir.
You know,
contagious
and inspires.
It is contagious.
Yeah, energy is transferable.
If
whether
he was
it's positive or negative.
the Bucks gonna sign him.
I think they gonna sign him if they want to keep Giannis because Giannis made it clear.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, Giannis made it clear.
Jermaine.
Yeah, he made it
And
clear.
Giannis clearly, his mind is in a different frame when Thanasis is present and then when he's absent. Look at the finals.
I appreciate but I really appreciate the perspectives.
Yeah.
Right? He's trying to make a statistical argument.
No,
for
you're not.
Yes, he did. For Science Thanasis.
But we all dismiss
You
that.
got into all those intangibles and the whole thing.
We all
He's trying to
dismiss
make
that.
an argument he won't be able to make, by the way.
Tell you.
Oh, man, what he going to be out there?
Me, you, Debo, and the caller dismiss that.
Hey, I'm just saying, man.
dismiss that.
Listen. When y'all get done, if they really, really, really gave this man a chance, he hustled his butt off. He plays hard. He plays like AJ Jackson.
Caller.
He just
Caller.
Yep.
How many
Yep.
coaches does the Bucks have on their staff? About 10, 15?
Yeah, about 7.
If he was that great, wouldn't one of those coaches had identified such and go like, hey, Doc,
put him in.
You need to put him in. Dude.
He got 6 fouls to give, man.
As a matter of fact, we didn't really know he was on the team doing the championship run until, remember, they had that blowout game and those dudes that nobody know was on the team. He was part of that squad, wasn't he?
Yeah.
No, that's not true. Y'all knew he was on the team because y'all kept bringing up why he even on the team, and they should give that spot to somebody else. And I was always arguing, nobody cares about the 15th man. So why were we making a big deal out of the 15th man?
Because the 15th man just happened to be the brother of the best player on the team.
Right.
That's why.
Or something said in the league.
Yeah.
Well, and then the
14th man on the Lakers
is
Daddy.
We don't even
just happened.
And I was just about to
just happened to be, the second greatest player ever to play. So if J.R. Smith's brother gets a contract, and that was J.R. Smith.
I'm glad he said the second greatest player, because for a long time Keith was talking about he the greatest.
No, I always acknowledge that MJ is the greatest ever.
So where we putting Kareem at now?
Kareem done dropped, man, because we'd had a couple people come in and say he done dropped a little bit because you got Kobe, you got LeBron
too.
Ooh, Magic. So you put Kareem over Magic?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I got LeBron
even
at 4.
over
You
Larry
got LeBron,
Bird.
who's still top
You
5.
can't put Kareem over Magic.
You can't put him over
Yes, you
Magic.
can.
Y'all
Yes, you
crazy.
can.
Y'all
Yes, you
tripping.
can.
Man,
What
no
y'all
look
talking
pass
It's
and
harder.
all of the
So,
skill set that
Y'all,
that
as
Magic
a
brought to the game.
6'9"
Come
point
on,
guard
man.
with handles
No, yeah.
early.
How many MVPs
But he brought
the
a lot
Cap
more in
had?
the way of
6?
skill set.
Cap
What did Kareem
Cap was
have?
a winner before Magic.
Sky hook. That's all he had.
That's all he had.
And that's all you needed.
The greatest shot. They said the greatest shot
That can't
ever.
be blocked. I
And
do
had
agree
never
with
been
that.
blocked.
But however, Magic Johnson was the first 6'9" point guard that can see the floor like how he saw the floor, man.
We're not talking about how
Yeah,
he
he
revolutionized.
created the no look
How many
pass.
MVPs?
Come on,
How many
nobody
MVPs does
resume is
Magic
better
have?
than
Who brought the
than
no look
Kareem.
pass to the game? Magic.
No.
Yeah.
Bob Cousy.
No,
Bob Cousy.
Never heard of Pistol Pete
Bob
Matthews?
Cousy. There's a whole lot
Pistol
of people
Pete.
doing. As a matter of fact,
Bob
Magic
Cousy.
said he modeled his game after
Pistol.
Maybe he did, but I still say he changed the game. He was in
He
there.
did 6'9"
He
point guard.
ain't top 5.
That's not the
He
argument.
ain't top 5.
He ain't top 5.
Who ain't?
No, Magic's not top 5.
Magic
The
probably top 5.
NCAA made a no dunk
You still
rule
got
because
Larry
of Kareem,
Bird.
y'all.
He better than Larry Bird.
What did you say, caller?
The NCAA made a no dunk rule because of Kareem.
That's correct.
Mhm.
That's correct. That's correct. Kareem won in high school.
Yep.
Kareem won in college.
Yep.
Kareem won in the pros.
Yep.
I mean, there's no question about it. But you know,
And for some of you who believe in
Well, see,
reparations,
you taking
he
total-
won off the court too.
But you saying total career.
Would we call Kareem a prodigy?
No.
Like the Tiger Woods of basketball?
no.
Who was his dad? I don't know.
I
who
would
his
think
dad
Michael
was.
Jordan would be that.
Michael Jordan ain't no prodigy neither.
No.
Well, I'm saying because he was
talking
so
about-
good so young.
No, that'd be LeBron. LeBron was
Yeah,
good as a
'cause-
freshman in high school. I
No,
mean,
Kobe,
a prodigy
man.
is Kobe.
Kobe.
You have to
all day.
come from something
Yeah,
in
Kobe.
order to.
LeBron
Yeah, Butterbean.
was you know, like if you
Jelly
look at
bean.
Michael
Jelly
Jelly
bean.
bean.
What I
You
call
call
a
it
Butterbean.
Butterbean.
Yeah, that was the boxer, wasn't it?
No,
Wasn't that the white boxer?
no, Butterbean was
Ooh.
Bob Love.
You still on your redemption tour tonight?
No, man. My
Jelly
tickets
bean
ain't selling
was-
out, man.
Kobe
Kobe's
Bryant.
dad. Yeah, Kobe
Right.
dad.
That's why I said he a prodigy because his dad came from
Yeah.
the league.
I'm just saying that if you, I would never say Kareem. Kareem was like LeBron. Kareem was great as a freshman. Kareem was great as an 8th grader. There's certain people, man. It's on you from the beginning. Magic was one of those people. I'm not arguing that Magic wasn't one of those people, but I'm just saying in terms of Kareem has what 5-6 MVPs,
Right.
You know, I mean,
on
that-
top of
that-
6 championships.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah, but he got him with Magic.
And he got 5. Yes.
He got 5 with Magic.
But I'm saying he won before Magic too.
Well,
that
was
counts.
1 year with the Bucks.
3 NCAA championships?
Yeah.
freshman team was better than the varsity team when he
Right.
was playing.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
God bless.
Is Wilt in the top 5?
Of
Well,
course.
No,
He's in the
Will
top 10.
Chamberlain?
top 10, but
He's
not
in
top,
top
5.
10.
He ain't in the top 5?
No, not my top 5.
Y'all tripping.
All right, well, let's do this then. We come back from break and we get the caller. Y'all come up with your top 5.
All right, say no more.
About
That's
Larry. Larry, move your hand.
He in the top
move
10.
your hand.
Oh,
Yeah,
Larry
he
Legend?
gotta be. Yeah, he
We'll be
gotta
right back.
He's not top 5.
AURN News.
I'm Jamie Jackson. The Justice Department is investigating whether the city of Chicago has made hiring decisions based on race. This comes after Mayor Brandon Johnson publicly praised the diversity of
Welcome back to Community Voice. Caller, I want you. We're gonna get right with. All right, so let's do and let's do this. Here's the ground rule: we make no comments on the top 5. Make your top 5, and that'll be it.
That'd
Is
be
that
your
fair?
top 5.
Yeah,
fair?
that's
Okay.
fair.
All right. So who wants to start?
I'll start.
All right.
Jordan.
What? No.
Kareem.
We make no
Jordan,
comments.
Kareem, Magic, LeBron, and then I gotta give it to Kobe.
J-Man.
That's fair. My top 5 favorite: Kobe, Magic, Larry. This is a hard one, but I'm gonna do it. Shaquille.
You had the whole break to think.
I've been this cat ain't even giving me no pass.
I know.
And my last one, Jordan.
Okay. Dylan. Dylan. Let's go. Jordan, LeBron, Kareem, Larry Bird. Fifth one.
It's tough.
I'm not a big fan of them, but I'm gonna go Kobe.
Okay.
Now my list would basically be the same as DJ's, but I would probably insert one individual that I just loved his game coming up, man. He was he put me in the mind of Bird, but Mr. Brian Winters would be in my list.
Okay.
Oh,
if he hadn't had that bad back, who knows how good
Yeah.
Brian Winters
Yeah.
would have been, man.
Jack Sick.
Now that would be a good 5 of players if they hadn't got injured.
Or
You know,
all time.
or-
Let's do this.
Yeah, do that.
All time Bucks.
Mm.
Top 5 all time Bucks.
For me,
Well, let's do the caller, and then we'll. And y'all can think about that. Top 5 Bucks. Caller, welcome to the program.
Hey, good morning, y'all.
Good morning.
Hey, I got a comment. I got to make a comment and a question. First comment would be is that I look at Shaq on TV and he brags about how great he is, and I'm in the same area as Keith. He's no better than Daryl Dawkins or Artis Gilmore.
Shaq?
You break.
Yeah,
wait,
yeah.
wait.
You breaking up? I don't
Say
know
that
what you're
again, bro.
saying.
I said I'm in the same area as you.
Okay, me.
And I sit and I listen to how Shaq critiques centers and how great he talks. He really is no better than Artis Gilmore or Daryl Dawkins.
Man, stop it, man.
No.
Artis Gilmore, Hall of Famer. So
Yeah.
Shaq was unstoppable.
yeah,
Yeah. But
he
look,
just couldn't shoot free
Just gonna
throws.
shoot free throws.
listen me out. The era that he played in, he was bigger than everybody. He never understood in 20 years the pick and roll. He's sad as at the free throw, and he wasn't a good team player. So what makes him so great?
Wait. So
His-
you
his
said that he
numbers and
never
accomplishments.
understood the pick and roll?
No. He
So
never
defensive.
played the pick and roll
Wait. On the offensive end or on the defensive end?
on the offensive.
That's not true because when he was in Orlando, him and Penny Hardaway, they
Yeah.
ran that a lot.
They ran that a lot, dude.
Yeah, but you have to still take in consideration. He always had 3 good guards around him: Penny Hardaway, Dwayne Wade, and Kobe.
Everybody we mentioned in our top 5 had some great players around them.
Yeah.
All of them did. So we got that. But there was no more dominant player in an era. I mean, he was like Wilt Chamberlain was when Wilt Chamberlain was playing.
Yeah.
There was no more dominant who could also not
You
shoot
could
free
even
throws.
compare him to Kareem only
No,
to the
no,
point
no.
when he
You
first
can't-
got to the league, he
Yeah,
was
you
dominating.
You cannot
Like when he
compare
first got,
him to Kareem.
he didn't win the championship until he got to LA, but like he was dominating.
Kareem. You can't compare him to Kareem.
Man, he was playing point guard at some point.
You know what? I got a chance to see Shaq play in person. I've never seen a 300 man,
Bring the ball
300
down the
pound. No,
floor.
not that 300-pound man be so light on his feet.
Yeah.
His feet, man, you would think like the dude was like 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah.
I mean, he got, and I'm gonna just say, and here's the other thing about Shaq. If Shaq would have took his conditioning a little bit more seriously,
Yeah.
there's no question he was like you. When you set up and say you play in the Lakers, I know you had to worry about Kobe. But when people building defenses to try to figure out how to stop Shaq,
Yeah, they was building walls and couldn't
they
figure it out.
couldn't figure it out. Just foul him. That's where Hack and Shaq came up. That's the only way you could stop him. Put him on the free throw line.
I got just two more comments.
Okay.
Now you guys are NBA, y'all follow the NBA and y'all understand the game. I ain't throwing no shade and no disrespect, but what about how far do you think the Pacers are gonna go?
To the finals?
That's right. Do you think they will beat Thunder?
I think so.
I don't think they'll beat the Thunder.
I agree.
I think so, and I'm gonna tell you why I think so. Because the Thunder has youth and they're running up down the court, but one thing that Indiana has over Oklahoma is better shooters
and balance.
And balance. Indiana got better shooters and balance. So,
but OKC has a great defense.
Way better.
They
defense.
do,
got a
but
great defense.
But
way
if you,
better defense.
See, but if you
and they
the
could actually match up with
Indiana.
And
they got more size.
But they got
in
better
Indiana.
shooters though.
Yeah.
But look
now, if you turn it into a game like it was the other night, where they're just playing playground, then OKC got a problem.
Yeah, Indiana.
But if you slow it down, they got to play half court. No,
but the playoffs ain't never been half court. It's always been running good.
It does.
What you talking about?
I'm talking about now. They running and good. That's all it is now.
Playoff basketball is always about the half court.
So, but see, the thing about it, Indiana got a better bench.
Yeah,
and they got a smarter coach.
Yeah,
he outcoached that game in New York.
OKC has a solid bench too.
New York ran out of gas because New York does not have a bench.
Well, New York, they notorious for choking. You know, so they notorious for that.
All right, man. What's your third point?
Top five, I would say Bill Russell, Pistol Pete. I'll go with Magic, Larry, and Michael.
All right, appreciate you, man.
All right.
Caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning. You on there?
Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning. How's everybody doing this morning?
What's your top five?
Well, I don't have a. I do have a top five. Don't rush me, Keith. I called to say you all left out one of the greatest.
Yeah.
And that was Dr. J.
I knew you was gonna say that.
Yeah, she got me on that.
I mean, he and Moses Malone not take the 76ers to the promised land?
Sure
did.
Was he the one that did the air moves before Jordan did?
Wasn't he the ABA before it merged?
Moses was an excellent post player, man. We had that turnaround shot. He'd get in the post, turn around, and pull up and hit. Man, he was a monster on the box.
All right.
Yes, he was, and so was Wes Unseld.
Yeah. Wes, I forgot about Wes. So like Paul, that was Paul. So that wasn't Paul Westphal, was it?
Paul Westphal was the ambidextrous player that started with Boston, ended up in Phoenix.
Yeah.
And Wes Unseld was with the
Wizards.
The Tank was with Washington Bullets.
Bullets, that's what they was called back then. Yeah, the Bullets.
Yeah.
You know why they're the Wizards, right?
No.
Why?
Because DC was the murder capital of America. And they
So
wanted
they
to
had to
take
get rid of
bullets
the
out,
bullets,
right? Because they started in Baltimore as the Bullets, moved then over to Landover, and DC at that point that was doing drug wars, and so that's when they changed it to Wizards. All right.
Okay.
Well,
Good to know. That's educational.
Yeah, man. Thank you
You
for
all
that.
have a great weekend.
All right.
Stay
You too.
safe.
All right.
Okay.
Top $5.
Top $5. You gotta go with the OGs. You gotta go with Oscar. You gotta go with Kareem. That's no discussing that. I will put Giannis there. I will put Glenn Robinson there, and then I will put, even though this hurt my heart not to put Ray Allen there, because but his fonder days was when he got traded. But he was a beast. That's Jesus. But you gotta put.
He said that was Jesus.
Oh man, that was Jesus. Man. But you gotta put Sidney Moncrief in there.
Hall of Famer.
You gotta put Sidney Moncrief in there.
Top $5: Kareem, Oscar, Bobby Dandridge, Marcus Johnson, Giannis.
For me, Giannis, Big Dog, Ray Allen, Sidney Moncrief. And I'm struggling between Kareem and Oscar.
I thought you was trying to figure out how you get AJ Green on the list.
I was gonna figure that thing out.
Oh, it was gonna be some furniture moving up in here.
Dylan, AJ Green, Dylan.
It was gonna be some furniture moving up in here.
AJ, man, AJ, that dude, man. I'm telling you, man.
Oh, the greatest. He be on all the greatest all initial team on the bus. Carl, welcome to the program.
Good morning, you in there?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just want to make an observation.
Yes, sir.
I know I'm out of order because you've named some categories that I didn't get a chance to talk, but I want to recognize and acknowledge El Cid and Reverend Keith Parris should understand what I'm talking about. Willis Reed, the New York Knicks, when Willis Reed was almost dead, and they still won that. You remember that?
The biggest 4 points ever scored in a game. All he scored was 4 points. You would have thought he had like 39 that night. Wow. He just limped on the court.
Could you imagine how I compare him to El Cid? You remember El Cid?
But those was a big 4 points because that gave them the confidence to be like, oh, our captain is out here. I can do this.
Who El Cid was? You see the connection. El Cid, literary character who was killed, and they sent him out to lead the troops. Dead, and they still won.
They still won.
Y'all have a good one.
Yeah,
you too.
Yeah, El Cid. Yep.
So they did that for like troop morale or something. Okay. Wow. So he dead as a fool on the
somebody said, asked did we forget about Wilt Chamberlain? Nope. Top 10.
Yeah, he in top 10.
Top 10. Caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning. You on air?
Well, lost. Guess they go.
Let's see. Shalom, brothers. All the great players you have mentioned, only one played without another player on his team who commanded a. Well, isn't Scottie Pippen in the Hall of Fame?
Nope.
Yeah, he is.
He commanded a double team.
A double team. Oh, okay.
Scottie in the Hall of Fame?
Isn't Scottie in the Hall of Fame?
No, he ain't in the Hall of Fame.
Scottie is in the Hall of Fame. What is y'all talking about?
When he won the top 75 players?
I thought he was.
What y'all talking about?
I just don't remember ever seeing the ceremony that he was at.
Yeah, he I forgot who did his like his introduction. I forgot who did it. But yeah, of course Scottie made the Hall of Fame. He made it before Jordan.
Because Jordan continued to play, right?
Isaiah Thomas still in there. I mean, Isaiah Thomas in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
What type of question is this,
because
man?
I'm just trying to remember. I don't remember.
It's certain players, when you name them, it should just go without saying.
Well, Charles Barkley in the Hall of Fame, man.
Yeah.
What'd I just tell you, man?
Hey, I mean, I'm just trying to make sure.
Is Scottie Pippen in the Hall of Fame?
Duh. What is wrong with you?
I'm just pulling up his stuff and it's not.
That's what I thought. I don't remember seeing
That's
him.
why y'all need me, because apparently y'all got amnesia, dementia. You don't gotta ask him. I'm Google.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the Hall of Fame.
August 13th, 2010. In the Hall of Fame?
15 years.
Yeah. Oh, actually, he made it after Jordan. Jordan was 09.
Yeah. And Jordan would have been in sooner, but he decided to. All right. Well, everybody, DJ.
Hey, have a safe and blessed weekend. Hopefully, we have some great weather, some great barbecue. You know, we love barbecue, but most importantly, please be safe.
J-Man.
At the end of the day has to end. That's all I can say.
All right. Well, the good Lord willing, creek don't rise. Hope to talk to everybody on Tuesday. Y'all have a safe and wonderful holiday weekend. And as always, go from this place in peace.
Good. Oh, yeah, from the storm and the pain. Let us.
AUR are in news.
I'm Jamie Jackson. The Justice Department is investigating whether the city of Chicago has made hiring decisions based on race. This comes after Mayor Brandon Johnson publicly praised the diversity of his administration last weekend. During a recent appearance at Apostolic Church of God in Woodlawn, Johnson listed several top aides, describing each one by race. He said the deputy mayors for infrastructure and economic development are black women, along with the city's planning and budget directors. He also noted black men in senior advisory and operational roles. That prompted a letter from the Assistant Attorney General, who said the remarks raised concerns that the city may be favoring one racial group in hiring. Now, according to the letter, the Justice Department will look into whether there's a broader pattern of race-based decisions across city government. Officials say they haven't reached any conclusions and are asking for the mayor's cooperation. For AURN News, I'm Jamie Jackson.
Here's your updated forecast. We'll see periods of rain showers here for today with cloudy skies and high into the upper 40s. Winds out of the north around 5 to 15 miles per hour. Then for tonight, a good chance for rain and cloudy and temperatures holding steady. By Thursday, a slight chance for rain showers, cloudy high around 54 degrees. Friday, mostly sunny, high of 56. Saturday, we'll see some sunshine, high 57. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on AM 860, The Voice.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month, a time to reach out, speak up, and support one another. Whether you're struggling or just need someone to talk to, you're not alone. Together, we can break the stigma and build a community of care. Schedule an appointment at 414-727-6320. This month and every month, your health matters at Outreach Community Health Centers.